Welcome to our first edition of UBC News Tonight on this 12th day of November 2022. Before we delve into tonight's news bulletin, let's first take a look at the top stories of the night. Deputy Speaker asks higher institutions of learning to prioritize science. Government Major Seminar celebrates 50 years. New Operation Shuja Commander General Olum inspects forces in DR Congo. And the Batwa wants schools, health services and decent housing. Good evening once again and welcome to our first edition of UBC News Tonight. I'm Loreen Masika KAZIMOTO and Muhammad Mugalu on sign language interpretation. Now, a start of this newscast with it was a jubilation as the students of Ogongoja Secondary School received school structures at a ceremony officiated by the Vice President Major Jessica Alupo. Now, the school currently boasts of 446 and 53% are female and 17 teachers, out of which 9 are on government payroll, with optimism that the strides made by the school are motivating and in the near future begin the higher education sector to enable students continue with their educational journey uninterrupted. We have details in this report.
Many times we the MPs ask for culverts. Culverts are broad. But the chairman, LOC5 and his councillors know that every time at the peak of the wet season, Ogongoja sub-county gets cut off. And it is very embarrassing. So I want to thank you because the culverts have been going to the district roads. But today, I want to congratulate you for bringing me to commission the start of the work on the part of the road which always makes the sub-county of Ogongoja to be cut off every year during the rainy season. I think it's a big milestone and we should not hear of again a sub-county getting cut off, having been physically there to cut the tape and even see the culverts which you have placed there.
Now, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Taiyewa, has challenged all learning institutions to embrace government's call of promoting science education while officiating at the 26th Kampala International University graduation ceremony. The Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Taiyewa, echoed government's move towards embracing science.
A parasitology scholar, Dr. Josephat Maniga, is among the 2,496 students who graduated at Kampala International University. He was awarded with a PhD in microbiology, majoring in parasitology. Dr. Maniga enrolled for a PhD in 2015 and in 2017 started his research in malaria control, particularly drug resistance.
I was looking at is about the treatment of malaria. You know, like malaria, we are treating it, but sometimes you find that patients, they are not getting cured.
He carried out his research in Western Uganda, given the little data available about malaria in Western Uganda.
Some of the recent data, it has shown that the prevalence of malaria in Western Uganda also is starting to increase, which initially it was not the case. Initially, we were knowing that malaria is more common in Northern Uganda, here in Central Uganda, and in Eastern.
Maniga is among the 6 students who were awarded doctorates of Kampala International University.
We are suspecting some resistance of the parasites with the drugs that we are using.
The Vice Chancellor, Kampala International University, Professor Mohamed Mpeza Mihigo, says the university is moving towards expanding science courses through collaborations with other international science-based universities. He, however, asked the government to accept the application to have KIU Hospital elevated to a referral to support their science innovations.
Given a big boost to the human resource capacity of the university, We are indeed grateful to the federal government of Nigeria.
The Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayebwa, who represented the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Mong, says it's time higher institutions of learning embraced teaching of science courses.
Institutions like KIU, Teaching Hospital, I can see you already meet a very great deal of the requirements we put in place.
The 2,496 students included those who attained diplomas, degrees, postgraduates, masters, and PhDs.
These days, journalists will tend to go up on something than going deep to understand a situation before we bring it out to the people. So I think if we do enough research as journalists, we can do better in the field of journalism.
People, through those studies and research made by different professors and also our research made by our fellow students.
Mohammed Kamoga, a law student, says his decision to study law was to enhance his skills in land management. He does not contradict with the current law, but faults the implementers on the increasing cases of land grabbing.
You make 100 laws, but you can't implement even 2. That wastes your time. The implementers are the problem right now. But
started 20 years ago, Kampala International University has leveraged in the virgin area of science with diverse science courses. Susan Naung and Kenneth Tanaba reporting for UBC TV.
Hundreds of the Catholic community have this Saturday gathered at St. Mary's National Seminary, Gaba, Kampala to celebrate the Institute's Golden Jubilee. Now, the event attracted a congregation of the clergy, donors and members of the general public from all denominations.
St. Mary's National Seminary, Gaba, has commemorated its Golden Jubilee. The event, held under the theme "With Merit and Gratitude to God," was graced by hundreds of priests and bishops from the Catholic Church. The chairperson of the Uganda Episcopal Conference, Right Reverend Bishop Anthony Ziwa, led the day's main celebrations.
Let us make an audit of the journey that we have traveled together, that we have gone through in this seminary.
According to the clergy, the seminary is a strong testimony of the past Uganda's bad political history, having been established in 1970.
The beginnings in 1970 was a hard beginning. In 1971, the political and social conditions were transformed from peace to instability, insecurity, unjust imprisonment, killings, etc. You can imagine the effect this had on the staff and the students in this place. This state of affairs went on for quite a long time, I think maybe until 1979. When I say this, at that time I was still a student here.
However, amidst the challenging environments, St. Mary's Seminary is proud of the 50-year journey.
St. Mary's National Seminary, Gaba, has fulfilled the purpose for which it was founded. This seminary has produced pastoral-minded priests. As of today, St. Mary's National Major Seminary, Gaba, has produced nearly 2,000 priests, has produced 19 bishops, some of whom are here present.
Kampala Archdiocese Bishop, Right Reverend Paul Semogere, lit the celebration candle on behalf of the Archdiocese.
I challenge you, old boys, parents, dear Christians, and people of goodwill, guided by the Holy Spirit, to bear ownership of this seminary and also become its benefactors and agents. It is time for us to contend with the reality that funds from abroad have greatly reduced. So we have to take ownership of this institution and support ourselves locally.
The Pope Nuncio to Uganda, Right Reverend Luigi Bianco, was the chief guest.
To say yes to God also means to say no to things that are not good. Both things are together. We are called to say yes to God and His will, but also we are called to ask the Holy Spirit to give us the strength to say no, what is not good.
Meanwhile, the Commission of Bishops has re-elected the Kihinda Michana Archdiocese Bishop, Right Reverend Anthony Zwa, as the chairperson of Uganda Episcopal Conference after having served under the same code for the last 4 years. This announcement has been made by the Commission's Secretary General, who says this is part of the 11th November 2022 Bishops' Convention resolutions.
The new vice chairman of the conference is Bishop Santos Lino Wanok, the Bishop of Lera.
As St. Mary's Seminary celebrates 50 years of service, nurturing and pastoralists, the call to consolidate what has been already attained was a take-home for the congregation. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Muni University, in collaboration with Wanganigan University, has launched a West Nile Innovation Hub with aims of improving food production and regeneration of the environment among West Nile farmers. The Innovation Hub is based on research to identify challenges that farmers face so that possible solutions can be addressed.
Dwindling soil fertility, environmental loss, and poor farming methods amidst the rapidly growing population are some of the factors affecting farming in West Nile. According to research undertaken by West Nile Development Association, West Nile imports about 75% of its food from other regions of Uganda. During the launch of West Nile Innovation Hub at Muni University, Acting Vice Chancellor Muni University, Professor Simon Anguma, explained how the West Nile Innovation Hub seeks to improve food production in the sub-region.
Soil fertility is dwindling. What can the university do in that direction? So through research, we can give advice on how this soil fertility can be regenerated. Then in the front of community outreach, we can probably give advisory services. As a university, we know which crop suits which type of soil. We have got soil scientists here.
The National Project Coordinator for Uganda Multi-Sectoral Food Security and Nutrition Project at the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Julius Twenamasiko, said West Nile, like many other regions of Uganda, faces a challenge of farming, including climate change.
The population in this region is very productive. However, we see a number of threats that can cause food insecurity, including climate change. We see issues to do with pests and diseases. However, the government of Uganda is well aware of these issues and is handling.
Stakeholders in West Nile have considered such an innovation through Muni University as hope for modern farming, which they said cooperative societies failed to achieve, and called for state support.
It's definitely a genuine desire, particularly Muni University, to try and provide solutions for the numerous problems which the farmers are facing. The state needs to be behind this.
There is a district farmers association called Antifa. Now, when we initiated it, one of our ultimate objectives was from production, we should be able to move to processing. 24 years after I came, the guys are still doing production.
Arua District Chairman Alfred Okonji noted that West Nile Innovation Hub is in relation to aspiration of government in improving nutritional security among Ugandans.
In Paris Development Model, pillar number 5. So this features very, very prominently. And therefore, I would like to encourage Muni University, this decision of having West Nile Innovation Hub is not by mistake. It is in line with government aspirations, the priorities of government.
Joseph Odaman, UBC News.
Thank you, Joseph Odama. Now, Mountain Division and Operation Shuja Commander Major General Dick Olum has inspected joint forces sectors in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. General Olum thanked the gallant forces for the zeal and resolve exhibited in dislodging ADF terrorists from the jungles of Virunga and Ituri impenetrable forests.
The Commander Mountain Division, who is also the Operation Shuja Chief, Major General Dick Olum, has been inspecting and interacting with the joint forces in his sector. This inspection aimed at boosting the morale of the UPDF and draw fresh strategy against splinter ADF groups. While briefing the sector commanders, the Operation Shuja Commander, General Olum, said the joint forces will continue offensive action against the ADF.
Nimekuja kufanya kazi. Nilikuwa sijui watanileta hapa. Yeye ndiye amefikiria yeye mwenyewe president anasema wewe Dick kwenda huko. Nitaichapa na nguvu yangu yote. Kama ni kulala hapa, nitalala hapa.
He further informed the commanders, especially in Boga, Chabi, Mukakati and Kainama, that the Commander-in-Chief has given instructions to eliminate ADF fighters from the area.
Hadi kila kitu inalainika. Interest ya President Museveni lazima tuifuatilie.
This is a joint operation. And now that I've been brought into this formation or the division, it's my pride to move around, to check on the troops that I will command, to see what they are doing, to check on the operation capabilities, to look at the challenges that they get, so that these challenges are taken back to my boss, my immediate boss, who's the Commander Landing Forces, and that's Lieutenant General Kayanja Muhanga.
He thanked sector commanders for their mutual trust and cooperation exhibited between UPDF and FRDC.
You need to talk from both the top leadership of any formation, a brigade, division, and downwards, but also talk to the lower soldiers at the battalion and the platoon at the company levels. The reason is there are issues or there are problems that may not reach you, but once you visit these soldiers at the lower level, they give you, you are in touch, you are in full touch with exactly what these soldiers are doing and what problems they go through.
UPDF forces have secured the areas of Katembe, Paida, Borasi, Kainama, Tondoli, Semriki, Nyakabale, Mitego, Mululu, Rutete, Mugwanga, Baliria, Matete, up to Zunguluka. Haruna Mtesa Asira, reporting for UBC News in Congo.
UBC News Tonight takes a very short break, but we return after these messages.
So, I'm here to announce that the MTN Kampala Marathon is back. And this year, we are running for babies. To be clear, I am not talking about a baby. No. And neither am I talking about to be baby. I am talking about these small dollars.
Run for babies in the MTN Kampala Marathon on Sunday, 20th November 2022. Dial *165 *77# or use the Momo app to register.
The Electricity Disputes Tribunal is a specialized quasi-judicial body established under Section 93 of the Electricity Act to handle all civil cause disputes relating, but not limited to, regulatory disputes, billing and licensing, tariffs, power generation, transmission and distribution issues, compensation resulting from activities in the electricity sector including civil wrongs and breaches of statutory and contractual duties and consumer-related complaints. The Electricity Disputes Tribunal is a special court and the first instance court that deals with electricity matters in the country. For more information, please contact the Electricity Disputes Tribunal at Amber House, Kampala Road, opposite Post Office, or call us on 041 23 2987.
That's right. The Voice is coming to a city near you. From the 21st of October to the 10th of November, you get a chance to showcase your talent. Prepare a 1-minute MP4 video of yourself singing and upload it to thevoice.africa to register. Make sure you have a valid Airtel number, and if you're shortlisted, you will be contacted to come in for the live auditions.
Well, don't just stand there, let's go!
Music your passion, Africa your stage. The Voice Africa, connected by Airtel.
The Ministry of Health informs the public that there are confirmed cases of Ebola in Uganda. We, however, urge the public not to panic as the situation is being managed. The Ministry of Health further reminds the public to be on the lookout for any persons who may show signs and symptoms of Ebola. These include high body temperature, abdominal pains, diarrhea, vomiting, bleeding from the body openings such as the nose, eyes, and mouth. Please inform the nearest health worker immediately if you see anyone with these signs and symptoms. To prevent Ebola from spreading further, please take the following preventive measures: regular washing of hands with water and soap, avoid handshaking and hugging, avoiding any contact with any suspected Ebola patients. Any person who dies suddenly should not be buried but reported to the nearest health worker or LC1 immediately. For further information, please call the Ministry of Health toll-free number on 0800-100-066 or send a free SMS to your report on 8500. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF and World Health Organization.
Did you know that a cashless, secure, and convenient lifestyle is possible with Airtel Money Pay? Pay for your goods and services in the following simple steps. Dial *185*9#. Enter the merchant ID. Enter the amount. Enter payment reference, for example, school items. Please enter PIN to confirm. You will receive a confirmation message for a successful transaction. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Get connected today with the My Airtel 4G smartphone, the most affordable smartphone in Uganda. You get to enjoy free 1 GB for 1 whole year. My Airtel 4G smartphone, your best value for money. Visit the nearest Airtel outlet today and get one at only 250,000 Uganda shillings. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back from that break. Now into the business scene. Officials from the State House political section have urged vendors to embrace government development programs to improve their livelihoods. The officials, led by Princess Nasolo Poland and Miss Flora Kabibi, made the appeal earlier this week as they met vendors from 5 markets around the country. The markets include Kalaji Market, Lubega Market, Naigaga Market, all in Mukono District, then Sangalia Mbogo Market and Nakwero Market, all in Wakiso District.
Officials from the State House political section have urged vendors to embrace government development programs to improve their livelihoods. The officials, led by Princess Nasolo Poling and Ms. Flora Kabibi, made the appeal earlier this week as they met vendors from 5 markets around the country. The markets include Kalaji Market, Lubega Market, Naigaga Market, all in Kono District, while Sangaliambogo Market and Nakwero Market are found in Wakiso District. During the courtesy call, Princess Nasoro advised market vendors to desist from politicking, saying that the political season was over and that it was time to work in order to improve their standard of living.
Kino ekiseera kyaffe kya kukola tugende maaso si kya bufuzi mukole ssente ng'oli n'akuleetera ssente n'akasangala opportunity bwejja gikozesa abaana bano abakuba obutayimbwa abakyala ffe tubazaala abaana bano abavuma president abakyala ffe tubazaala mutuule n'abaana mwogere nabo.
She explained to vendors that government development programs like Emyoga Parish Development Model are meant to benefit all Ugandans irrespective of their social or political backgrounds. Ms. Kabibi advised parents to groom their children to become responsible and morally upright citizens of Uganda. During the same meeting, the team gave out 100,000 shillings to each of the over 200 vendors to boost their businesses. The market vendors appreciated President Museveni, the State House Comptroller and State House Political Section for extending a helping hand to them, saying that the funds will be invested efficiently to better their lives. Ms. Christine Kayaga from Kalaji Market said that they had no working capital, yet they are single mothers with huge role to look after their children.
Tetulina kyetukola tubadde ku kkubo wano we tukolera kaakati batugobawo olw'embeera tuve ku nguudo wafunda naye tetulina gye tudda.
Mr. Serunjoji Edward, a market vendor at Nakwero B Market, also the vice chairperson of Nakwero B Village, appreciated the president for sending a reliable team that was able to listen to their plight and boosted their working capital.
Basobola okutusakira eri President Museveni ne batuusa okusaba kwaffe nga tusaba obuyambi kuba baatuwa emyoga ne batuwa ne byonna bulugagale n'ebibadde bikyali mu prosesi nga tetunabifuna naye bano abambejja bwe twabakubira omulanga ne basalawo batuyambe batuwe ku ssente zino sobole okusuubula.
Mr. Sekito Ismail Chicho, the vice chairman of Kalaji LC1, revealed that Kalaji Market was allegedly sold to a one Mr. Galikwa of Nachifuma, who is currently threatening to evict them from the market, and he requested the president to intervene into the matter to save them from being kicked out of the facility.
Ebitusoomooza wano bwe buzibu nti omugagga kano akatale kano yakagula. Era abakyala bano ne balaba abasinga nga bali ku kkubo omugagga abagoba. Naye tusaba gavumenti bw'eba esobola ejjeegulire bano abakyala akatale kano olw'ensonga nti abakyala bano boolaba mu katale abamu be bamaama be bataata era be bayimirizaawo abaana baabwe abaami olumala okuzaala nga bo beetambulira bwetambuliza. Olwekyo tusaba gavumenti eyambe abakyala bano we bajja 10 babeere ng'ebagulira akatale kano nga tekakyali ka muntu buntu nga kaabano mwe bajja 10.
UBC TV, Harriet Nambi.
Well, that wraps it up for this edition of UBC News Tonight, but do join us for much more stories in our second edition, that is at 10. I'm Laureen Masika KAZIMOTO and Muhammad Mugalu on Sign Language Interpretation. We will see you at 10.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Meet Professor Petero. He knows something. Every hustle